The Gwent 2022 roadmap has been revealed. I want to go over it with you and then afterwards give you a couple of thoughts I have about what it means for the future of Gwent. Let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you to Flying Dutchman 97 for putting together such a good summary of what was said about the roadmap for next year on stream. Currently, Gwent Masters is going on. It's a huge Gwent event, hence that's why they walked everybody through the roadmap during that time. And it was such a good summary that Thor Serpent, the new game director of Gwent, actually commented on the post, clarifying a thing and saying that they did a nice job summarizing it. So this is a fantastic overall summary for it. Let's go ahead and dive in. First, Slamma is moving away from Gwent, and Vlad is now in charge, also known as Thor Serpent, so expect to see more of him. 4 new card drops will be happening next year. So now instead of doing it every 2 months, it's every 3 months. Now, of note, the first card drop is in April. So expect a content drought. Next few months after all the chaos in this coming December, because this upcoming patch looks so hot. After that, things are going to get pretty darn stable. For better or for worse, I hope that CDPR in January, February, and March is willing to really shake things up. But we'll see. It may be a content drought upcoming. But 4 new card drops, April, July, October, and December. Only the second drop in July will be a full expansion. So a massive thing, like think Way of the Witcher. A big card drop, and then the other ones will be smaller. Now, in the stream, it was compared to the 12-card leader drop, but Thor Serpent in this thread clarified that these card drops will be bigger than 12 cards. So let's assume it's about the same. Let's assume it's about the same for now. Next, the old journeys are coming back. You can already get kind of access to a little bit of it with the Geralt skin. Just the Geralt skin, the figure, coming into the shop later this December. And then if you buy it now, it's effectively pre-ordering the old Geralt skin, or Geralt Journey. When the Geralt Journey returns in May, you automatically unlock it. Series Journey will return then as well. Alzur's, Yen, Triss is in August, Artuza, and Regis in November. That's pretty awesome. Old journeys are coming back, and no new time limits. Another point here is one more new journey is coming in February. That's a cool thing. That's pretty darn cool. Basically, short story is one more new journey and a bunch of throwbacks. Masters is happening again. The Gwent esports scene will continue, this time though with 3 opens. And then 1 World Master. So 1 less open per year. 1 less major tournament per year. You can contribute more to esports now when you buy an esports cosmetics. Great. Deck building is a problem in the game right now. A lot of people are afraid of it. So hopefully by focusing, and we're gonna dive into the future down here, but focusing on brushing up old archetypes and making them more interesting will hopefully prompt players to dive into deck building a little bit more. Set rotations may appear as a seasonal, but not actually as a permanent part of Gwent. So let you know. When you click on standard, you want to just play a game of Gwent, you could use all the cards. Not going to be a thing. Biggest feature next year will be making the old archetypes viable. This is the theme for the entire notes here. All of this, all the new cards that are coming, are really about bolstering the existing stuff. Have you felt you wanted more Harmony support? Well, you'll probably never get it because CDPR hates Harmony. But if you like things like Dwarves and Pirates and Vampires, support is on its way. Most likely anyways. Vampires is confirmed at this point. And some card reworks. Again, we'll talk about the future patches soon. We'll talk about the patch notes once they're finally out. But some of the card reworks are gearing towards those old archetypes, and that's going to be the theme for all of 2022. Premium tokens are on the way. Draft will go out of early access. Meta diversity and trying to get all these old archetypes to at least have some time in the limelight on stage being awesome is the goal for this next year. So Gwent is in a good place and is in a state of requiring polishing rather than needing drastical new features. The objective will be go deeper instead of wider. Golden Necker is not being revealed today. It's coming soon. And soon sounds like it's more soon, but that makes sense. More time has passed. This is that secret Gwent-related project. And we can see here, there's Thor Serpent, kind of confirming that this summary is pretty good. And I will link the Reddit post down below in the comments, or not in the comments, in the video description. if you want to read this yourself in case I missed something, and or you wanted to read something for yourself. Here's the deal. We need to talk about this. I'm not sure this is a great roadmap. This is my hot take. This is the hot take. Let me go ahead and just put it in the nice big letters over here. My take is that I'm skeptical, and then we're going to find out if I can actually spell, and nervous. Why? This is the kind of roadmap I would expect if Gwent was coming slowly but surely to a close. So, on a surface level, I'm really excited about this. I like at the first glance, the idea of making the game deeper, deck building more creative, more different ideas to do. The new leader cards they're adding to the game are so awesome. A lot of them demand really complicated and bold deck ideas and encourage you to experiment in ways that reminds me of beta. And I'm feeling so good. That feels great. Here's what scares me. First things first. If the game was growing rapidly, I would expect more cards. More than just the same amount year after year after year. I would expect that eventually say, oh, we want to turn up the heat from a 10 to an 11. We want to make, okay, maybe the card drops are every 3 months because people prefer that pacing. But we're going to start putting in more cards into them, right? Because we want cooler stuff. I would expect them, CDPR, to say, hey, we're going to actually every 2 months release one cool, awesome card that excites you. This is your Sunset Wanderers, your Maddox. Cards that will shake up the meta a little bit, but not necessarily be a full expansion. It'll just be something fun to experiment with. That would be the kind of thing that I would expect to come like this February. February, we're getting a new journey, as mentioned here, but we're in the middle of a content drought because we're not getting new after December. There's no new cards till April, right? No new cards till January, February, March. April will be the first one that at least is announced. I would expect them to say, hey, we're going to drop 1 or 2 cards, maybe once in February, once in March, or 2 in February, to make sure you have something to chew on. I would really like that, but I didn't see that. We're not seeing actually the new content grow. If anything, we're seeing the new content shrink. We are at a point where there's only one new journey next year. And the new stuff that's coming out, the new journeys for this year, are coming out again so soon, it won't even be a year. The Regis journey in a year will be available again. Which at first glance is awesome. Like the idea of these journeys coming back, you can buy them, and they're removing there's no time limit anymore. Once you have it, you get to complete it at your own pace. But it's really scary when there's no new content. The less new content there is, the more I get nervous. And I feel like Journeys was the way you were supposed to monetize the game once you had all the cards. And the game Gwent is very generous towards giving people cards. Therefore, a lot of people have complete collections for at least 1 or 2 factions they care about, if not all of them. The esports scene is losing an open, which doesn't sound like much, but it's still cutting back on potentially the prize money in the scene. Now, I'm not sure how much the esports, and that might not be true. That might not be true. It might be me speculating. It might just say, oh, one less open, one less $10,000 event. We're going to distribute the cash to the other events. Maybe increase the prize pool at World Masters or across the other opens. But I guess I'm just suspicious. I'm a little suspicious. It feels a lot like, to me, Gwent is drawing to a close, where you're polishing the game so you can say, this is it. We'll do an occasional bounce patch. We'll have a couple seasonals rotating. But we're going to kind of leave the game in standby. We're not going to worry too much about really continuing to build it up and up and up. Now, I might have the wrong read here, but I would expect an acceleration of new content if all things were good with Gwent behind the scenes. If Gwent was actually bringing in plenty of money, I would expect CDPR to be building on top of the features that they have here. However, we are not seeing that. We're seeing the opposite, really. We're seeing a scaling back on the journeys, a scaling back on the esports scene. We're seeing, even in many ways, what I suspect is going to be a scaling back on new cards. And that's concerning. To me, that makes me nervous inside. I could have the wrong read, but I think this indicates to me that Gwent is going to start drifting in terms of content a little bit lower and lower. Until there's some stabilizing point where the game pays for itself, they can keep it going. Or CDPR can keep it going. Because there is value for CDPR if they want to keep it, if they want to explore the multiplayer space and keeping Gwent alive. And the Witcher series continues to pump out money on Netflix, got season 2 around the corner. And I don't know, people are interested in it. We got new animated films. The Witcher is exploding on that front. So it kind of makes sense if the game can fund itself, keep it going. Do I think it's going anywhere anytime soon as a game available to play? No. Would it surprise me if in 2023 we got a slightly more scaled down roadmap? Would not surprise me. That would not surprise me. And I'll put one little final tidbit there. Overall, I would give this roadmap, for me, this roadmap's like kind of like a 4 out of 10 ranking. I don't know. Can you have a ranking or score? I'm gonna give it a score. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. It does a lot of things that I would like to see, but because I feel that the content isn't accelerating, the new content, it's actually reducing for next year, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. One final thing, might as well, I'm gonna give a long shot guess at what Golden Necker is. I know it doesn't deserve its own video, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and find it. We got some artwork previewed from it. Yeah, you see all these 6 spoilers I can't wait to talk about. We see this, and then there was a little like world rune right before this. I'm just gonna give it a call shot now. Golden Necker is a single player Gwent based game, except set in the world of The Witcher 3. So you can go to all the places you found in The Witcher 3. So they're basically reusing the location, but just rededicating the entire experience towards single player Gwent because people loved it in The Witcher 3 so much. That's my guess at what it is. That's why there was a little runestone that played before this, and unless it turns out it's a common transition. But I see a market. I see like the world of The Witcher, which I guess isn't surprising. That is my long shot guess. It's my long shot guess. Anyways, those are my thoughts for the day. Maybe you can let me know down below. Am I crazy? Does the roadmap look like the best thing ever? Where are you, roadmap? Here you are. Does this look like an incredible thing? Are you guys pumped? Or are you guys starting to have some doubts here as well? Are you saying, or do you agree with me that this looks like there's less content coming, and then it's getting potentially, or at least potentially Gwent's going down a path where it's kind of getting to a finished state where there's just going to be a small trickle in of new content, but kind of just the project stays in standby. That's where I believe this roadmap hits at. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news there. Thanks for watching this. If you made it to the end, let me know. Leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Shoutouts to McRandar, Pseudonym 81, Ahmed Ali, and Winston for all their unbelievably generous support on the Patreon.